And that is Lagat, who, Mr. Speaker, has been reported to be perpetrating violation of human rights, Mr. Speaker.
Hoya guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. Mapema ndiyo best. William Ruto sharealize kwamba huyu jamaa amemletea problem kubwa tena zaidi. Because guys, unaona saizi venye hii kifo ya Albert Ojwang imeweza kutokea, then finance bill very soon watakuwa na soma first reading, second reading and third reading. Na iwapo Rais William Ruto atapitisha ama atasign hii finance bill, then kutakuwa kumoto tena zaidi. So hizi vitu zimekutana zote. So guys, don't try to swipe up this video. Kitu ya kwanza, William Ruto tumanisha senators pale kwenye Senate ili wa speak loud, huyu jamaa aweze kuresign. Huyu Eliud Lagat aweze kuresign kabla mambo ya muende mrama. Unaona watu wangu? But kabla tuangalie hiyo guys, I want you to listen to this speech. And pia ni huzuni zaidi wakati ambapo Albert Ojwang's father anajaribu kuspeak. Anaongea kwa uchungu zaidi akituambia kwamba wale ambao walihusika kuua mwanawe wa kipekee then walaaniwe. Sikiza.
Ya kufanya postmortem. Maneno yangu hata ni machache tu. Sina maneno mengi. Naibu mkuu wa polisi Bwana Eliud Lagat, wewe ndiwe uliyetumana watu wako ma DCI waje nyumbani, waje wachukue mwanangu ili wamlete Nairobi. Kama mkuu wa polisi naibu, kwa heshima ambayo ninaheshimu nayo katiba ya nchi hii yetu ya Kenya, pamoja na heshima ninayopatia watumishi wa serikali ambao wanatumikia nchi hii yetu, nilipeana kijana wangu kwa heshima hiyo mkononi mwako, maana nilipata habari kupitia kwa watu uliowatuma waje wamchukue yeye. Baada ya kukabidhi huyu mtoto kwako, maana hawa ni watu uliowatuma tu, leo hii matokeo inatokea kwamba mtoto wangu amekufa kwa majeraha ya kupigwa. Nahitaji unieleze kwa nini ulimuua mtoto wangu. Kupitia kwa sheria ukaseme kwa nini ulimuua mtoto wangu. Alikukosea nini ambayo inagharimu? Watu wanaongea kuhusu mambo ya ufisadi hata ni wengi kabisa katika nchi hii yetu. Kwa nini mtoto wangu peke yake asulubiwe kwa ajili ya neno la ufisadi ambayo inahusu nchi nzima, abebe na ni mtoto wangu mmoja wa kipekee? Sasa nimebaki mkono mtupu. Nana atanielekeza katika maisha yaliyobakia. Mtoto wangu nimemsomesha kwa taabu katika kaunti ya Kilifi kwa kazi ya Kware, nikijinyima kwa ajili ya mtoto wangu kusoma. Alipohitimu nilikuwa nina matumaini, ndiposa nikatoka huko nikirudi Nyanza nikae nyumbani, kwa sababu mtoto amefika mahali pa kunishika mkono. Sasa leo hii umenivunja mkono, umeniua. Kwa nini uniue? Unanidai nini? Amekuibia nini? Hayo ndio maneno ambayo nataka niongee kwako Bwana Eli.
Baada ya ripoti hii mzee wangu, jana idara ya polisi ilitoa taarifa, lakini leo hii wewe unazungumza baada ya kupata kweli ambao ulifanyikia mtoto wako. Kupata nafasi ya kuzungumza na utawala wa taifa, rais wa polisi kanja, ushazungumza na Bwana Lagat, wale ambao wanafanya upelelezi kama baba ya Ojwang, utawaambia nini?
Mimi nataka niongee kuhusiana na mambo ripoti ambayo nilipata kwa police station ya kwamba ilikuwa ni ya uongo kutokana na uchunguzi uliotokea leo. Niambiwa ya kwamba mtoto wangu amejigonga kwenye ukuta. Nauliza swali, huku kwenye makwapa pia unaweza kufika kwenye ukuta huko juu kwa kugongwa, huko kwenye kishogo na kwa magoti? Haya, anaweza kufika huko kwenye ukuta huko juu kunakoonekana damu. Habari hizi zinamwendea tunayempenda rais wetu wa nchi hii. Tafadhali mzee wa nchi, tusaidie, nisaidie kama mwananchi anayetoa ushuru pia, na angalia haki kuwatendea wanyonge, sababu boma langu hata ilipigwa picha hata kabla kijana wangu kuondoka. Kama mwananchi anayetoa ushuru pia, na angalia haki kuwatendea wanyonge, sababu boma langu hata ilipigwa picha hata kabla kijana wangu kuondoka. Wakaona kwamba huyu ni mfukara, hawezi kujitetea. Kwa hivyo lolote tunaweza kumfanyia mtoto wake ili kwamba iwe suluhu namna hiyo. Hiyo haibariki. Hiyo ni laana. Hiyo ni laana. Hiyo ni laana. Tusaidie.
Unaona watu wangu. So guys, ensure me like video ili kuendelea kusupport hii channel, na nasema thanks so extensive kuendelea kusupport hii channel. Zile moments sana guys, kama ni mara yako ya kwanza unaenda kulike video na kusubscribe, acha Mungu aweze kukuonekania na kutetee kwa kila jambo. Kwa hivyo guys, without wasting time, yesterday William Ruto aliamua kutumanisha senators pale kwenye Senate ili wa speak loud, huyu jamaa aweze kuchomoka. Unaona watu wangu, sikiza.
Is a matter of national importance. And Mr. Speaker, it becomes even more grievous because the complainant is the Deputy Inspector General of the Police, and that is Lagat, who, Mr. Speaker, has been reported to be perpetrating violation of human rights, Mr. Speaker. And there is no reason why Mr. Ojwang was transported all the way from Migori to Nairobi just for a matter that was supposed to be civil and not criminal. Because, Mr. Speaker, if somebody is accused of libel or even of mudslinging somebody's name, that is civil, and the lawyers here can guide us, led by Senator Sifuna of Nairobi, that this particular young man should have been made to face civil charges, and Lagat should have sued for damages, Mr. Speaker.
Instead of terminating the services of junior policemen, we want to see senior police officers, the Director General, the Deputy Director General, and even the Director General should resign or they should be fired by the President. Mr. Speaker, my party, where I am the Deputy Party Leader, we signed an MOU with UDA. One of the things we agreed was that we are not going to have abductions and killings like this one. Mr. Speaker, if we do not get proper answers from UDA's side, we will consider this as a material breach of the MOU we have with the UDA.
We are playing with fire. I was an adult when there was detention without trial. Detention without trial was a bad thing. But being killed in a police cell is worse than detention without trial. It reminds me, Mr. Speaker, of the impunity we saw when, Mr. Speaker, then Vice President Moi lied to the country that Josiah Mwangi Kariuki had traveled out of the country when they had killed him. The same impunity we saw the police tell the country that Dr. Robert Ouko had committed suicide when they had killed him. I'm asking that this matter be escalated to a level whereby we must bring fear in government for government to respect human life. Mr. Speaker, it is not enough to ask that the Deputy Inspector General resigns. We want the same speed which we saw when our colleague was killed last month, when arrests were made. We want Mr. Eliud Lagat to be arrested so that he can write a statement from a police station for it to be clearer to him that he has a responsibility. Mr. Speaker, the police officers who went to Migori and brought this boy from home to Nairobi so that Lagat could see him when they are slapping him around should equally be arrested.
Aibu kubwa sana ambayo imetokea katika nchi yetu ya Kenya. Kama mimi ningekuwa rais saa hizi, ningekuwa nishafuta watu katika hiyo ofisi. Huyu hafai kuketi ndani ya hiyo ofisi hata dakika moja. Huyu mtu anaitwa Lagat, kwa sababu ameondoa maisha ya kijana mdogo ambaye alikuwa na future katika nchi hii, na sisi hatutakubali hata kidogo kwamba ifichwe hichi kifo. Wanaanza kusema sasa, kwa sababu yeye ni DIG, anafikiria anaweza kudanganya Wakenya wote. Anasema ati mtu alijigonga na ukuta alafu akaanguka chini akakufa. Kwani alikuwa anacheza mpira yeye huko ndani?
DCI must establish culpability and they must pin it to an individual, not the issue of suspending individuals. That is PR exercise. We want a swift action. Otherwise, the people setting up the president should be unearthed, because the issue that is happening is an issue that is image spoiling. Unless, there is a stupidity that cannot be quantified. You cannot do what you have done in a government with democracy like the government of Kenya. Mr. Speaker, sir, no cover-up can be allowed. Justice must be served and justice delivered, and the nation is waiting.
I agree with colleagues that there are people who are intended to sabotaging President William Ruto government, and is led by the Minister of Interior, who should take and resign, Mr. Speaker, and take personal political responsibility on this matter, Mr. Speaker. I request also that the Parliament Committee, Mr. Speaker, is very incompetent. And you know that incompetence, if you transfer from roads to lives, we lose lives, Mr. Speaker. We have lost a young man, 31-year-old, who had just married, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, they must be held accountable, Mr. Speaker.
But, Mr. Speaker, when you go to a police station and you are killed, Mr. Speaker, this is a very, very serious situation. Mr. Speaker, there's one time in this country where we used to have people who speak their minds. They are picked and you never see them. Sometimes, Mr. Speaker, they are picked and you see them in courts pleading guilty after being tortured in cells. Mr. Speaker, we have been struggling so that these things become thing of the past. And it is very sad, Mr. Speaker, when we see any injustice rearing its head again. Mr. Speaker, it is not the small boys. It must be the big boys who organize this kind of a thing. Me, I've never heard, Mr. Speaker, I've never heard that somebody can be charged for making somebody infamous. I don't know what a senior police officer, what type of fame a senior police officer wants to be. Where is he going with that fame? And Mr. Speaker, fame is something you can take to a civil court. Somebody does not have to be arrested and put in cell because he has made somebody infamous. Mr. Speaker, I have even seen in this country pictures where people are putting the president in the cells, and they are never arrested, Mr. Speaker. Is this police officer even bigger than the president? Why can he not be arrested and interrogated, Mr. Speaker, if we don't tackle this particular case up to the end, Mr. Speaker? Kenyans will not believe us. Kenyans will not believe that even as leaders we are serious. Because I come from that region.
Yes, Bonares, you had a point. I'll come to you, Gracie, later on.
No, I just wanted to say two things. That the crime that happened at Central Police Station is not one that can be justified, is not one that can be explained, and trying to bring in politics or any other thing is, really an attempt at trivializing a very, very important issue. one of the things that we have to accept is that for perhaps the last 1 year, there's been an increase of abuse of police powers for political purposes.
Exactly.
So that we have a force, a police service that has been weaponized to advance political interests. So that's the first thing. And that is the first sad thing in this situation. And then the second is that as a result of that impunity and misuse of police powers, and that's why I was having a problem with the former spokesperson, when there's no act that is being abused like the Cybercrime Act.
Exactly.
Because the purpose for which Cybercrime Act has been enacted is actually to deal with cybercrime as known and defined in law, which are issues to do with hacking, which are issues to do with the misuse of systems. So when somebody is using his phone on Twitter and makes a statement that could be insulting or derogatory, that is not a criminal offense. It is not something that we approve of, but it is not a criminal offense. It is civil in nature. You deal with it in the manner in which it's supposed to be dealt with. But also, what has happened to just courtesy and good manners? If this gentleman had committed a crime in law, what was so difficult with just going to tell him, show up at a police station, we have conducted our investigations, we have found that you have done this, come and we will take you to court on this day. So the manner in which he was arrested tells you of the overzealousness. They are getting to that point where they believe that they are above the law. Why? Because they are being used to advance certain political interests, and because of advancing those political interests, there is no accountability. Now we come to, for example, the institution that is supposed to check them. If you want to be sure that there is no political goodwill, yeah, IPOA is understaffed, under-resourced, and so they are trying to do their job. There are so many cases when I've had discussions with them, so many cases where they have investigated. And one of the things that we need to tell you, because I was involved in this case working with IJM on the Ruaraka OCS who was eventually convicted for killing someone in Nahashon Mutua. The level of interference that is in those kind of cases, because even some of those witnesses had to be put in police protection, had to be put in witness protection, because there was an attempt to actually kill those witnesses. Those witnesses. And that is the thing that we are saying, that you cannot have the DIG, and let me tell you one thing, and I wanted to respond to what Charles Owino had said here, that if I report a crime, and police officers torture that person and kill that person is different than when the complainant is the DIG of police.
Exactly.
It is different. This is their direct boss. He is their direct boss. And so the overzealousness in which that manner is whatever is directly attributable to the fact that he is their direct boss. And he is their commander.
Okay. Exactly.
So he knows, he ought to know that as a DIG, on these petty small things, I have to learn to overlook some of these things, because he is in office, he's in public office. And when you're in public office, there is a higher level of scrutiny that is leveled on you. And sometimes some comments would be made that are actually not factual, that are actually not true, but that is the nature of the office.
Okay.
So he was personally aggrieved about those insults that were made against him. And so this young man was being beaten because of insulting the IG. And that is why he died. Okay. And so for that reason, the IG is...
The deputy IG.
The deputy IG is an accessory to this crime by virtue of being the commander. So he should not be in office as these investigations are ongoing.
Yes, Grace, I'll come to you.
With what happened to this young man, Albert Ojwang. And this country requires answers, because a postmortem that has been done so far, it indicates that this young man died out of neck compression, and those injuries were inflicted through torture. So we require to get proper answers from the police, and I also want to agree with the position that by now, instead of terminating the services of junior policemen, we want to see senior police officers, the Director General, the Deputy Director General, and even the Director General should resign or they should be fired by the President. Mr. Speaker, my party, where I am the Deputy Party Leader, we signed an MOU with UDA. One of the things we agreed was that we are not going to have abductions and killings like this one. Mr. Speaker, if we do not get proper answers from UDA side, we will consider this as a material breach of the MOU we have with the UDA. ODM, we are very serious about this. Mr. Speaker, I am talking as a Deputy Party Leader of ODM. We are a party that believes in protecting lives of Kenyans. And therefore, we want to see action from the UDA government on the issue of the Deputy Director General of Police. By now, he should not be in the office, because this young man was arrested because he had posted something against the DIG. Why is the DIG still in office? Why are you going for junior police officers, terminating their services, and their bosses are still there enjoying lunch and breakfast as our young man is decaying in the morgue? Mr. Speaker, this matter is very serious, and we call upon speedy action by not just the police, but the government through the President. Mr. Speaker, we are beginning to see the coming back of intolerance in this country. This cannot be allowed to go on, Mr. Speaker. I think we need answers, and the answers are supposed to come from the government, they are supposed to come from the police, and we cannot allow the police to mislead this country, that the young man hit his head on the wall. Mr. Speaker, if you look at the injuries sustained by that...
Senator Boni.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we have to be serious. We are playing with fire. I was an adult when there was detention.